Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. So a lot has been happening in the garden. A lot has been changing. So many things are gonna change in the future. Uh, Therefore, I think I will be able to upload a little more frequent in the channel. Maybe not as much as I used to at the beginning, but I know for sure at least I'm gonna do once a month upload on the channel, just updating you guys on what's happening. And since everything is growing right now, literally in the garden, I just wanted to do a quick little update. And it's so beautiful right now. Um, what 1 month of growth could do. So let me take you through the garden and show you what's happening. All right. Well, first of all, actually, I take that back. I know what I'm gonna show you guys before I show you guys the plants, and that is, let me turn you a little this way. All right. Well, that is the other thing. The first thing that I'm gonna show you is this mulch right here. So I was able to get secure a load of mulch about a month to 2 months ago, and well, with that, I expanded a little my garden. I threw some mulch in between the rows of every bed. I think I'm gonna start, I'll show you guys later, but I'm gonna start growing under a palm that is on that side that it's not being used. The palm shades out the bottom, so the grass is patchy. And as you guys know, I hate grass. I don't really like grass. So I decided to put that and smother out the grass. Now, let me bring you back. Okay, so I decided to put a lot more emphasis on my plant growing, on my seeds starting. And so with that, I started experimenting with a lot of soil mixes. I finally, give me 1 second, and with the magic of editing and camera work, I am back in less than 1 second. So, like I was saying, I finally decided to take like super serious my seed starting mix. Before I used to not sift it, but now this time around, I decided to buy a sifter, three different hole sizes, and let me tell you, it's made the difference. It's made quite the difference. So I am very proud of myself that I decided finally to actually focus on that. And well, with that being said, the previous mix that these plants were in, they were not sifted. They were just like mix, huge chunks in the mix. So the seeds struggle, well, the roots struggle, and so that was my bad and my part. I was just like being very lazy. But with that being said, this is the sifted mix, and so if you guys could see, the plants are actually doing pretty well, um, a lot better than I expected. And let me show you, this is some kale. Now, you might be wondering that maybe these containers are a little too big for such a small plant. Maybe they are, but I just wanted to get them away from this container. But speaking about containers, another big thing that is happening in my garden is that I am switching over to soil blocks. Now, the reason why I'm doing soil blocks is because it's gonna take me a lot less potting mix to get seedlings than what it takes me to fill this container up. And now, with the magic of editing, let me take you to what I mean. Okay, so first of all, excuse the mess. Unfortunately, we had to get rid of our storage unit just because of the county having problems with it. But in reality, it was in the back and you couldn't see anything. Whatever, that's not here nor there. What I brought you to. So I am switching over to soil blocks I don't know if any of you have ever seen this or you guys actually do this. If anytime, like from now on, if you do soil blocks, and if you feel that I could do something better, as in like to make my soil blocks or to grow my seeds with soil blocks, let me know. I am always looking to learn new things. I am always looking to, you know, people to guide me in the right direction. So, with that being said, we got the micro, I think they call it, soil blocker, which has 20 little soil compartments. And well, we also got the 2-inch soil blocker. Now, let me show you. They are here, and here is the 2-inch. I put some bunching onions. It's, again, with this channel, everything is a little experiment. Everything is experimental. All right. So I am doing an experiment with the bunching onions. The reason why I decided to cover them is because I don't know if there's gonna be a critter that's gonna come and eat the seeds, because I'll show you guys. All right, well, if you guys won't be able to see as much, but you guys will, because the power of editing. The micro soil blocker that makes 20 little seeds, it makes an indentation not too deep. I don't mind it, it's okay. But it's maybe something that I should mention, and I am in no way telling you to switch over to soil block until I feel that I'm doing good enough and it's like, it's worth it. I'll let you guys know. But at the moment, I'm doing my own experiments. So if you're doing your own research and you're learning, and maybe this video is an extra step to being like, okay, maybe I'm gonna go to soil blocks, by all means, do you. But the thing that I'm saying is that it doesn't make the indentation deep enough to where the seed is inside. It's literally laying down, and as you guys can see with the power of editing, I'm showing you guys how deep it really is. So for example, with some of my lettuces, I decided to put 2 seeds because I just don't know if, I know that touching ground or touching moist soil, seeds germinate, but at the end of the day, this is a totally new experiment for me. And so from now on, I think that this is, if this works, this will be my method of starting seeds. As you guys can see, in my personal opinion, I think that it takes about the same amount of potting mix to make these as to fill up that 12 tray seed starting mix. So that's why that was like a huge inclination of why I decided to go for soil blocks. You get 20 little soil blocks, small ones, and then I'm not gonna do it right now. I'll probably do it in a future video if I don't forget. But I'll show you guys that after this, then you get this one, which has the little squares, and they fit perfectly in those little squares. So that is the reason why I went with the micro and the mini. That's what they call them, but it's, I don't know the size of that, but I do know that it's a 2-inch on this side, on the square one, and they fit perfectly. Now, the experiment that I am doing with the 2-inch ones is that I am growing onions. Um, and so I just placed them in there. But these last four, which I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna do these these 12. I'm gonna cover them. I'm gonna collapse the edges on each on themselves, and I'm gonna leave these to be out unprotected. Unprotected because I'm putting that on top though still. So that is my experiment that I am doing with the soil blocks. And if it works out, then I will promote it. I will let you guys know. I will tell you guys that go ahead and do it. Now I am doing lettuce, beets, spinach, and some kale, and I think some broccoli. This is kale. So I'm doing a couple different kales, a couple different spinaches, a couple different other things. But that is my seed starting journey right now because I want to save potting mix. It doesn't take that much. So before I move on to the next thing, make sure if you are going to do this, if you're going to go to the journey of doing this, make sure you get a tray that has holes at the bottom. All right? Now, another thing is that I am under shelter. That was the big reason why I decided to put these seeds, because obviously if it rains, and in Florida, it's on South Florida especially, it's very unpredictable. It rains whenever it wants. I didn't want, they are very fragile. If they do receive a lot of water, obviously it's literally a small little block. I'm gonna try to see. It's literally a small little block of soil that has no protection. Unlike the seed tray, if the seed tray gets wet, all those seed trays that I have over there right now are literally just out in the open. If it rains, they get wet, but it's cool because they have drainage, whatever they hold and stuff. But this little soil block, if it gets wet, if we get 1 inch of rain, if we get an hour of rain, they're gonna get completely destroyed. But I'll stop ranting about it. I'm just excited about it. That's why I'm ranting so much, because if this works, this is a game changer for my garden. And you don't have to waste any more money on those pots that sometimes break. This, it's made out of, well, the bottom part is made out of plastic. The top part is made out of metal. This whole thing is made out of metal except for the little things. So if you think about it, it's gonna last you a lifetime if you take good care of it. But with that being said, let me take you over and see what's happening in the garden. Okay, so we are back at the garden, main garden section. And well, if you guys can see, right there, we have a makeshift trellis with some peas, which, if you guys remember, I've always had horrible times growing peas. And mind you, the peas were put in the seed trays, let's call it the lazy potting mix. And they did pretty well. Those peas were the only ones that did pretty well on the lazy potting mix. Now, I had some other peas, I'll show you right now, that I think in the good potting mix, and they did pretty well as well. Now we have some peas. We planted some tomatoes. We got some sunflowers on the edges. And then we go to the next bed. In our next bed, we have again makeshift trellis. We got some peas right there. And on the other side, on this other side, we have some beets. I never grew beets. I have never had beets. So we're gonna try them. We're gonna see if they actually do good. They look good so far, and they are growing. They're starting to grow. They're starting to look good. All right, and then so our next bed we have ourselves the other piece that I grew in our lazy party mix. We also have some uh, onions that they aren't looking so hot, but they are growing. And then every edge of every bed, I decided to put down some sunflowers, which yesterday gave me the great idea. They are, let me show you. Especially this bed right here. You guys see this? Those are, I would say, about 3 feet tall uh, sunflowers. So it gave me the great idea to put beans around every stalk that is there. So the bed before the sunflower bed, we have some cilantro, which I already did my first cutting. It's just a full cutting at the bottom. Just don't be scared. Cut it all the way from the bottom. It will give you about, I say 3 to 4, depending on the season that you grow it. 5 to 7 if you grow in a really good season. During like coldish, not true winter, but like fall if you're in the northern, winter, actual winter if you're in down South Florida, I would say. I put that one there, but I don't remember what it is. I literally had an extra seed from a plant, and I planted it, and it actually came out. So we're gonna find out. We have our usual carrots in the back. I can always grow carrots. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of comments. Some people say that they cannot grow any carrots for the life of them. So, like, sometimes I can grow some things. I could grow carrots. Maybe that person could grow something that I can never grow. That's how gardening works. All right, let's go to. Oh, before I forget, we also have right here more peas, sunflower, and then to the most greatest plants that I always grow in my garden are the pole beans. If you have a little bit of space, if you don't want your beans to be in the bottom bushy, if you want to grow only 3 up this side, 3 up this side, and then at the bottom you want to grow something else, man, I recommend you to grow pole beans, because you could literally grow pole beans up there, and then at the bottom I have another squash plant, and right now I planted some beans down there, and the carrots are gonna grow. They're gonna come out. The beans are gonna be producing. I could probably put down there some lettuce, some beets, some radishes. Talking about radishes, I gotta show you some radishes too. Right here we have, I don't think I've ever shown you guys our cactus. I am Mexican, and well, we eat this. Now, a little side note, don't eat it just raw. You have to literally take this off with a knife, all right? So whatever, if people tell you you could eat that raw, don't. Because these little hairs, they hurt. It's like little prickly hairs, they hurt. But all right, so remember, we have our bush bean, but we have our trellis. I think I've shown you guys in a different video. We have our A-frame. Again, oh, this is a perfect example of what I mean by growing the bush bean like upright and then growing something at the bottom. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but I do have growing down here. I have 3 squash plants. Now they're gonna be running, they're gonna be runners, but I am utilizing the bottom part, the bottom soil, to do something else. than to just let it be there. And I'm only using the edges of the beds to grow the beans. So you could also put something that can take some shade or something else. Use it. Now, we have more sunflowers. We have another squash plant right there. We have some small little peppers. They're growing. Right there. We got some turnips. And man, look. Somebody on Instagram told me, they were like, you're gonna grow this plant, you're gonna grow this flower, and you're never gonna have to seed it again. I have not seeded this plant ever again, and it keeps on coming back. I don't take it out. Whenever it sprouts, I know what it is, so I don't take it out because I know it's gonna be very beautiful, and the butterflies love it. So as long as it does not become a weed in my garden, it doesn't take over, it doesn't grow in my beds, it grows on the edges perfectly. I'm telling you, it grows perfectly. If you feed your soil, if you feed the ground, it will literally grow. It's growing on where I put mulch over dirt, over rocks. So oh, sorry, I forgot. I was gonna show you. I put some turnips right there just 2 days ago. We have another. So I don't think I mentioned it, but this is gonna be my strawberry bed. Like, it's a set strawberry bed. It's never moving. I'm just gonna grow strawberries there. I'm never taking them out. If they die, they die. But I want this is an established strawberry bed, and I'll show you guys. We have already had a couple strawberries. They're small, but the plant is new. The plant is barely settling in, so I'll show you guys later. I'm doing a thing where I kind of want to do like market gardening, so I started growing radishes. They aren't doing so hot, let me tell you. You know, I've had quite a problem with something. I don't know what it is, but it seems that it only digs up seedlings, small plants, and it seems to know that those are seedlings and those are small plants. Ask me how they know, I don't know. So right there, I kid you not, all this is planted. You can't really see it as much, but all this is planted. Radishes, three lines of beets, 3 different varieties, 4 different varieties of radishes. But for some reason, whoever this thing is, decided to dig up right there and over there and over there. So I have no idea, but it's been 5 days, I think it is, and I'm getting worried because my radishes are not coming up. Wait, I almost forgot to show you the most important part of the garden. Did I show you guys this on the last video? I don't remember. But whoosh, we got some bananas. People have told me to cut down. Can you see that? Oh, there you go. Wait, the little flower at the bottom, because it helps it mature faster. I don't want to take that risk, but I should be maybe harvesting them in the next month, sometime in the next month. But before I harvest it, I'll show you guys. But we have some really good bananas. It took about, I planted it and it started setting like in, I want to say November. No, yeah, like in about November it started producing. I didn't think it was gonna produce because that is basically the mother plant, and I'm really happy that it gave me some bananas. And well, with all that being said, what I have here is a scary contraption that I learned from uh, Jim Kowalski. I think that's how you say his last name. Uh, Pretty much everything that I'm gonna do from now on, it's basically after what he does, and so this is how I'm gonna start growing my radishes, my carrots, my cilantro, anything that is gonna go directly sown in the garden. It's gonna be with this contraption. So together, when you put it together, I messed it up. I can't put it back together right now, but wait, there you go, fixed it. But when it goes together, it's gonna go in the ground, make the indentations, and then you take it out. This is gonna be in the floor. You put your seeds, you put it back, and then you wiggle it. And the idea is that the seed's gonna be there, right? Is it working? Kind of. Do I need to perfect it later on? Yes, I do. So, all right. Well, with that being said, I know it's a lot of ranting, it's a lot of talking, but uh, that is what I'm feeling comfortable with right now. That's what I want to put out on the videos. Like I said from the very beginning, I'm not a teacher. I don't know how to teach you guys. I know how to show you guys and explain it. And sometimes I have to fight with that because I don't want the videos to be too long, but sometimes videos go long. And they're gonna be long from now on. And I'm okay with that. So next time, it's a one-man crew. I will try to get better angles. Sometimes it's not gonna be the best angle on the recording. But if you enjoy it, hit that the thumbs up button, subscribe, and come along in the new journey, because I don't want the channel to be barren and not have any content uploaded at least once a month. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for hanging out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.